Happy Tuesday and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils Show. I'm Anthony Totri, joined as always by my partner in crime.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not robbing a bank. You are.
Okay, that's my bad. Big Pokey, Shane Dieffenbach.
Hello.
That's this guy. Shane, we've got just 2 days until Arizona State kicks off at Mountain America Stadium.
Sun Devil Stadium.
Really?
We don't have to do that.
No, you're right. We don't have to. So they kick off at Sun Devil Stadium against Southern Utah for the first time in the Kenny Dillingham era. It's almost back, Shane. Football is almost back in Tempe.
Yeah. Before we get there, can I address something?
Yeah, go ahead.
When is the next time you're going to have that great of a shadow that you have in your profile picture on YouTube? I mean, it just looks amazing.
I don't know, man. I have no idea. That's a once in a lifetime kind of photo. So it is what it is. Look, but here to talk a little bit about the Southern Utah Thunderbirds is none other than Jon Smith. He hosts the Thunderbird Coaches Show. Jon, thanks so much for taking the time today.
Hey, appreciate it, guys. Anthony, Shane, thanks for having me on. Love what you guys do.
Always. Thank you. So obviously a big game on Thursday, season opener for Arizona State. Southern Utah, you got the chance to talk to Coach Fitzgerald the other day, as you do every week. Just what came out of that conversation in your mind leading up to this game?
You know, ultimately, we are a program that is rebuilding. We're in year 2 of a major rebuild. Coach is coming in with a little more sense of who the team is. Last year was difficult. We had a bunch of guys transfer and leave. This year, we really didn't have the transfer portal window bite us too bad. And candidly, I think he's excited. I've seen him nervous. He seems really excited with the product we're going to put on the field. Well,
one question that I'm always curious about is, like, when it comes to these week 1 games for Power 5 schools like ASU, you look at this as more as like a tune-up game from a fan perspective. I know the players aren't looking like that.
Sure, absolutely.
But for a school like Southern Utah, what is it like covering that? Like, what is the vibe going into these type of games in week 1, basically every year? Is it the shock the world mentality, or is it you just got to go out there and just try to win a football game?
Yeah, look, I think if we were in year 4 or 5 of a head coach and had the build already sustaining, I think it would be more of a shock the world mentality. Coming in year 2, man, look, we got a puncher's chance. From a fan perspective, man, collect a check and don't get anybody killed. You know, I mean, that's the reality of our world. But look, I like what Coach put together. I think we're going to give you we're going to strap it on, as Coach says. We'll tee it up, see what happens Thursday night. But look, we got some good pieces. Y'all got some good pieces. I just love that football's here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, one of those pieces that Southern Utah brings back is quarterback Justin Miller. It obviously helps to have a returner specifically at that position, as you know. Just what does he bring to this Thunderbird offense that maybe ASU is in store for? Oh, I think Jon's frozen. So we'll see if we can get Jon back. There we go. I think you're back now, Jon. So yeah, what does Justin Miller bring to this Thunderbird offense?
Yeah, look, Justin is a cool customer. He's married. He has a kid. He's been on an LDS mission. I think he's probably 26. I mean, the reality is he's who you want with a young squad coming up to lead them out. Look, he's a talented player. He's by the end of this year, I think he's probably going to hold most of the quarterback records. Look, I love Justin. He's never going to panic. He's always going to know his reads. He's going to be he's definitely the guy we want going into this game. And shoot, I mean, if we could have 5 more years of him, we'd take it.
Aside from the quarterback position, is there anybody that you're excited to get more eyes, or for other people to get eyes on? Like is there anybody that's going to surprise ASU fans on this roster, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we've got Isaiah Wooden. He's had a crazy story where I think we're his 3rd school that he's landed at, and he clicked once he got here to Southern Utah. He's a receiver. You're going to see him maybe returning some kicks, just lightning in a bottle, dynamic player. I believe you will see more of him at the next level, whether it's at the NFL or somewhere else. But he passes the eye test. Great kid, and gone through some hardship, but he's back on top, and I think he'll be great on the offensive side. On defense, look, we've got a freshman, Anisi Purcell. He's, 6'4", 280. He's an absolute beast in the weight room. Just a special player there as well. Yeah, we are going to play some connected team football. If we don't, we're going to get housed. If we do, then like I said, we got a puncher's chance to stay with it and give you guys a good game.
You mentioned the rebuild that the program is kind of going through over the last couple of seasons. This is a Southern Utah team that, as you know, has only played a couple Pac-12 schools over the last 2 years, ASU being one and then Utah the other. And neither one of those games really felt like much of a competition, especially if you look at like the final score. What do you think those 2 games, or really, I guess, in general, when it's come to Southern Utah facing some of these Power 5 opponents, has really hurt them down the line?
Yeah, and look, it can be that way. The Utah game, we hung in there for about a quarter. I think it was 7-7 at the quarter break. Look, I think they said enough's enough, turned it on, put the starters in. We took our starters out. We don't want to get anybody killed.
Yeah.
And you could definitely see the difference in the talent and the depth at Utah. We gave Cal all they wanted when we were playing in the Big Sky. I think we lost by 7 points on a crazy walk-off return. We've played bigger schools. We beat UNLV. We beat South Alabama. So we've had some success up in the FBS ranks. But as far as coming into Arizona, look, the reality is, it's going to be tough sled, and just be thrilled with a good outcome.
Yeah.
Has Justin talked about the first game he played at Sun Devil Stadium and maybe limiting some turnovers this time around?
Yeah, look, that's always the goal. He needs to be calm. Now, look, he's a super senior and he's seen a lot of things, and he's got little better pieces around him this time.
Yeah, absolutely. Jon, any final thoughts, I guess, on this upcoming matchup ahead of Thursday? Obviously, it's big for both programs. College football is back. Just anything else that Sun Devil fans should know about this Southern Utah team going into that game?
Yeah, look, SU is a team on the rise. This is our third conference in 3 years. So we're trying to find ourselves still. But I think we're on the right path. You're going to see a team that's going to play really hard. They're going to play together. And we're not afraid of anybody. Doesn't mean we're not realistic, but yeah, we're gonna give you guys our best shot for sure.
Absolutely. Jon, thank you again.
Hey, appreciate you guys.
Have a good one. Yeah, Shane, look, he was upfront about it, right? I think everybody kind of has a good idea as to what this game is going to be on Thursday, or what the expectation is, what it should be.
I'm not expecting anything. I expect this team to win a game. I'm not expecting anything. This can be the palate cleanser that was from EMU last year. Just win this game. Win it.
And win it handedly.
Yeah.
You have to take care of business. You have to take care of business at home, and you got to do it against a team in Southern Utah that, quite frankly, they shouldn't keep up. Whether they keep up for a quarter, whether they keep up for half a quarter or drive, doesn't really matter. This is an Arizona State team, similar to everybody else in the Power 5 when it comes to playing a team like Southern Utah, should be able to handle a team like the Thunderbirds. Again, they obviously bring back their starting quarterback, a few guys on the perimeter defensively, a little bit of the same, their leading tackler from last season. But at the end of the day, the depth that Arizona State has and the talent gap that I think you're going to see at most of these positions.
All of them.
At all of these positions.
What, am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. Yeah. The talent gap, whether it rears its head in the first quarter, will certainly find a way
Yeah.
to go in the Sun Devil
I
favor.
mean, the reason why I brought up the turnover thing is because this is a team that came into Sun Devil Stadium and just started throwing up all over themselves as soon as the game started. Their first drive was a
what an
fumble
image.
or an interception. ASU then scores, and then they fumbled. ASU then scores, and then they ended up scoring on this, but then they threw another pick. So, you just got to hope that this team can put them away early. That would be nice.
Yeah, Glenn in the chat, SUU secondary in for a long night. Yeah, we talked a little bit.
I think the Thunderbird himself is in for a long night.
We talked about
all
it
things go right.
a little bit on Monday. Just the secondary that the Thunderbird had last year was certainly one of their strong points defensively when it came to their opponents. But they've lost two of their top guys in that secondary, whether that be to the transfer portal or just out of eligibility going into this game. And look, we talked about it yesterday. Jaden Rashada, there may be some hiccups as we expect throughout the season. But at a certain point, Jaden Rashada, who is a former 5-star commit, will certainly prove himself on Thursday. And I think you're going to get to see some of those weapons. You're going to get to see guys like Xavier Guillory.
I want to see someone go over 100.
Receiving yards? Who's your early favorite for it? X or Jalen? I don't know if they're going to play long enough.
Could do it. I think Elijah could do it in the third quarter when he plays. Yeah.
I don't know how many. I don't know how long these guys are going to play. If they're up by
they'll play a lot. I don't think that Kenny would pull the starters until the fourth quarter.
Really?
Yeah.
Even if they're up big.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he this is what you want. Like, this team has practiced against each other for so long, and he wants to see what he has in some of these guys. I keep going back to his quote like a month ago when he was at Pac-12 Media Day. He was like, I don't know, we might suck. I don't know how these guys are going to play together in an actual game. So we get to actually see that, and we know Kenny likes to score points.
Yeah.
The guys that are supposedly the ones are pretty good scoring points.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Chase asking, what do we expect from Jaden Rashada? I mean, in game one, I expect Kenny to probably have a really favorable game plan for a young quarterback, meaning, the reads will be short and easier. And if there's a play where he's going to take a deep shot, it's not after going through two progressions. It's, look, they've been running, a cover one all night. We're going to bomb over the top of that free safety. Like, and he knows that going into the play. Yeah. So I think that the shots he will take will be very selective. But one thing I asked of Sun Devil fans is, do not panic if, his third ball of the game, is an overthrown ball that ends up in a corner's hands. Don't panic, because he's a freshman and he does make mistakes. But recently he's been on a heater. Let's hope it can continue into Thursday.
Yeah, I would not be shocked, and this is total speculation. I would not be shocked if the very first play of the game that ASU's offense is out there is either a trick play or a bomb. I would not be shocked, because that's
the first play
of the season for Arizona State on offense. Would not be shocked if it was a trick play or a heave.
My guess, you know how you can bet on like strikes and balls, like the first pitch. So my guess, actually, you can bet on run and pass,
home run.
In the NFL also. My guess, if I had to put money on it, I would put money on a very specific outcome. It is an inside handoff out of shotgun.
Really?
That's my guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Either an inside handoff or like a misdirection out of shotgun. That's my guess. And scat goes for like 15.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So you're definitely going to want to tune into that game on Thursday. We just had Jon Smith on, who does host the Thunderbird Coaches Show, where every week he talks to the Thunderbird head coach, DeLane Fitzgerald, about the upcoming matchup. So we do have some sound for you guys from the Southern Utah head coach. Spoke about Ray Anderson, Kenny Dillingham, Jaden Rashada. He had a lot to say, and we're going to get to that here in a second. But first, I want to tell you about our friends over at Burrito Express, guys. They've got locations all over the valley, and I know when you wake up on Thursday morning, it is going to feel like the longest day in the world till we eventually get to kickoff. So why not make that day feel a little shorter? Head over to a Burrito Express location, grab yourself a breakfast burrito or maybe even a lunchtime burrito. Sit there, enjoy it, and I guarantee you're going to be feeling a whole lot better before Sun Devil football kicks off, guys. Grab a burrito and follow Burrito Express on Twitter over at BurritoEXP.
Beer, football go together like beer and football. Best thing ever.
That is true.
Four
That is
Peaks is the best beer for football season. If you want to watch the games there, if you don't have Pac-12 Network, they can get it on for you there because that's what the game is on Thursday. Sorry. But yeah, Four Peaks, 8th Street Pub, greatest place to watch games, enjoy some chicken tendies, and drink some beer. Or if you're, you just want to stay at home and post up in your man or woman cave, you can do so with some Four Peaks brew. Just so many great beers for football season. Check out at Four Peaks Brew and at Four Peaks Pub to keep up with the latest at Arizona's hometown brewery. But you got to be 21 years or older to drink Four Peaks, and please drink it responsibly.
Responsibly. Absolutely. Shane, DeLane Fitzgerald, head coach, Southern Utah.
Yeah,
he does not look...
a name that I had never heard before this morning.
He does not look like he doesn't look like he is as old as like his experience says it is. Like he's got 15 plus years of experience coaching. He just based off of what he looks like, he looks young. He looks like he's in the same ballpark as Kenny, but he's not. Like you'll hear later that he was around when Michael Vick was a freshman quarterback at Virginia Tech. Like that's pretty wild to me that you're a part of that coaching staff at that age, and now you're obviously the head coach here at Southern Utah. But he was on with Jon the other day talking a little bit about the upcoming matchup between ASU and Southern Utah. And obviously everybody wants to talk about what's going to take place on the field. But the first question really had to do with the bowl ban that ASU self-imposed. And I know we've been talking about that for a couple days now. But
great. We get to talk about this again.
Everybody else is also talking about it. And this is the perspective from obviously ASU's first opponent, but another college football head coach. So I think it warrants a little something. But definitely. This is what Fitzgerald had to say about the bowl ban for ASU.
Not the best timing by their administration on that. And right off the top of my head, I think they've got 20 seniors that are going to play on Thursday night. And my heart goes out to those seniors because you only get one senior season, and to have that happen during your senior season, there's other programs and other football players and coaches that would look at that as a plus and be happy that happened to those young men. That's not us. No. It's not who we are. And we'd like to play people at their best. We want to play people completely healthy and at their best, mentally and physically. Yeah. But a real downer for them to come out on a like I said, Tuesday morning work week. To come out on a Tuesday morning work week and say, hey, you 20 seniors, you're going to waste this fall and you're not going to a bowl. The one I think about all the time is we had some crossover games with Sacramento State last year, so got to see Cameron Scatterborough, who has now transferred from Sacramento State to Arizona State. Well, if he stays at Sacramento State, they're going to finish in the top 3 in the conference. They're going to make the playoffs. As a senior, he gets a chance to play in the postseason. He gets a chance to play at a national title. Now he's transferred to a school that isn't allowed to play in their conference title game, so they can't make the conference title game, can't play in a bowl game. Sad situation. Sad situation for these young men.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's a tough, difficult situation, and he opened that answer up by starting with the fact that it was poor timing from the administration, right? Like, again, there is no way to slice it that ASU and these seniors specifically and the fans shouldn't have been informed of something like this with just 4 days till it actually happened. Obviously, ASU released a statement this morning kind of trying to give a little bit more context and save face a little bit, I feel like. But at the end of the day, I feel like Fitzgerald hit it on the head. Like you feel bad for everybody at this point.
Yeah, I said it yesterday. I'm going to say it again. It's horseshit. Plain and simple. I mean, handle it terribly. Yeah. I've said my piece about it. It's so what he said was 100% true, and you can tell he feels and cares for the players. And it's funny that he talked about Scatterboo and his transfer to go play for a team to win his title hopes, or his hopes were of a title, and now Ray Anderson ripped his heart out.
Yeah, it's just a really tough situation. Donald in the chat, his response won me over. I'm rooting for SUU after we play them. Glenn, now we get to take out our frustrations on a team with a good guy and his team. LOL. Yeah, absolutely. Look, just listening to DeLane Fitzgerald, that entire interview, you could tell that this is a guy that really is trying to build something within his program at Southern Utah. But again, it's it's not a Power 5 team.
Yeah. Can we talk about the statement really fast?
Yeah, let's go ahead and
actually?
talk about it.
So I'm sure you guys saw it, but one of the main bullet points was about the Tennessee thing because they've just heard so much about the Tennessee comparables and why did they do a bowl ban when Tennessee didn't have to. And they said, quote, ASU believes that if recruiting penalties of the type set out in the Tennessee case were applied to ASU, such penalties would seriously impair Coach Dillingham's ability to build ASU's football program. Doesn't that sound like something you should consult the guy that you're talking about with?
Yeah.
Maybe, hey, Coach, do you think this would seriously impair you to build your program if you got blank and blank? Or I don't know. It just seems like such a weird reason.
Yeah, I mean, and you're right. You're absolutely right. It would make a lot of sense to consult somebody who's running the program that you are about to hurt or you're about to impose that bowl ban. But we heard from Kenny. He found out 6:30 Sunday morning that his team wasn't going to be able to play in a bowl game if they reached that 6-win mark. So look, it's a shit situation, and it doesn't matter any bullet points that you want to talk about or that ASU releases. It doesn't make it any less of a shitty situation for the seniors, for the fans, for the coaches. But it's not going away. I know people are hoping that ASU will rescind the bowl ban. Like, it's not going to happen. There's no way that the Arizona State Sun Devils will be playing in a bowl game this season. And that's just kind of what you have to live with. But we've talked about it before. ASU is going out there with the mentality of it's time to hurt other teams' futures.
Why don't we just loophole this bitch?
How?
Fuck the Territorial Cup. It's a Territorial Bowl now.
We're just going to call it the Territorial Bowl?
Turn the cup into a bowl.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. Well, on that note, guys, DeLane Fitzgerald, he obviously spoke about the bowl ban, but he also was asked a little bit about Kenny Dillingham because at one point long ago, he was also a first-year head coach. So this is what DeLane Fitzgerald had to say about Kenny Dillingham and him being a first-year head coach.
Coach makes me smile. He's 33 years old and full of life and full of himself. And I got my first head coaching job at Southern Virginia at the age of 32, so I kind of know what's going through his mind and what he's thinking and what he's doing. Hey, other than Thursday night, we don't have him on the schedule for years to come, and that might be a good thing, might be a bad thing. I expect both of our programs are going to get better over the last couple of years. But when I listen to him give an interview, it kind of takes me back a little bit. It takes me back 15 years to my first job, and doing some things right and doing some things wrong and saying some things right and saying some things wrong. I guess I've kept a few of those traits over the years.
Sorry, people. I just laughed in the microphone.
But I'm going to be their biggest fan after Thursday night. Not rooting for them this week, and then after this week, I'll be a huge Kenny Dillingham fan.
Has Kenny said things that he shouldn't have said?
I don't think so.
I don't think he has.
I don't think so. And I don't think, and I don't know, like, again, listening to that, I've heard it a couple times now of the idea that Kenny's full of himself.
I think he just mixed his words up.
Okay. Because Kenny's not full of himself.
No. I don't think that's what he meant. Kenny's going to give him the get off my lawn, old man, reverse card here at Sun Devil Stadium here soon.
To get off my lawn, old man.
What are you, 45?
He doesn't look old, though.
That's what I'm saying. He's like 45. He's talking about back in my day.
Yeah,
I'm talking smack to a Southern Utah coach.
He's actually 46. I just Googled it.
Wow.
I know.
Well, maybe you're great at ages too.
I'm good at a lot of things.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. No, look, Kenny Dillingham, his first year as a head coach, whatever. John was talking about it on the podcast or on the radio show.
Yeah,
that he
who's
has
homie
with
to the next to his right?
That was a walk-on player who got signed on scholarship. Yeah, he didn't have to say a whole lot in that interview, to be honest with you. They were just kind of dragging him into that radio show for PR purposes. But at the end of the day, whether it is his first game, his 50th game, his 100th game, I think Kenny Dillingham is going to approach it the same way, with the idea that they're going to go out there and they're going to do everything possible to win that football game and stomp an opponent in Southern Utah who is, I mean, it's just not on the same playing field. But personally, and this is just me, Kenny would never tell you this, I thought it was a very, not in this specific clip, but throughout that radio show, the way they were talking about Kenny Dillingham, of the idea of like, he's a young buck, like we could be his father. Like I don't know. It was a very like backhanded way to be like, he's inexperienced, but like, just because he hasn't been a head coach before doesn't necessarily mean that he doesn't know what he's doing. And that's what it felt like multiple times throughout listening to that interview. At least when it
I mean, you listen to the whole thing. I can't speak on it. From that clip, I don't really see it. I think he was just saying, I see my younger self in him. And
yeah. We've got some more sound about Jaden Rashada. Obviously, Jaden Rashada getting his first collegiate start on Thursday before the whole self-imposed bowl ban thing was the talk of the town. Jaden Rashada was in the news cycle, and Arizona State was in the news because they would have a freshman quarterback starting going into the season. That's obviously got kind of washed away a little bit, but DeLane Fitzgerald obviously knows what he's getting into when Southern Utah comes to town on Thursday and have to face Jaden Rashada in this ASU offense. So this is what Fitzgerald had to say about ASU's freshman quarterback.
I don't know if he's a 4 or a 5-star quarterback, but they're going to start Jaden Rashada. They're going to start Jaden Rashada at quarterback, 18-year-old freshman.
Is that right?
Going back in the way too long ago memory banks, the last freshman that started against any team I was a part of was Michael Vick, and it was not fun.
It was not fun. He tuned you up a little bit.
I'm having PTSD.
Yeah.
Thinking about Michael Vick going down the middle against us at James Madison in 1999, and he led Virginia Tech to the national title game that year.
Look, Jaden Rashada is not Michael Vick. They're two very different types of quarterbacks. Michael Vick was a freak athlete who what he did at Virginia Tech was just filthy and disgusting.
Michael Vick beat James Madison 47-0.
Okay, what was his stat line?
That's what I'm trying to find.
My goodness. Jaden Rashada is not going to beat you with his legs the way Michael Vick beat that Madison team, but he will beat you with his cannon of an arm. So it may be a different kind of ass whooping that DeLane Fitzgerald and Southern Utah are in for. But look, I don't want to say there is similarities between these two, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun game for ASU fans to get to watch a guy in Jaden Rashada who Kenny Dillingham and Bo Baldwin are going to do everything possible to ensure that Jaden has the right game plan and the tools going into Thursday's game. And he is going to, in my estimation, he's going to carve up that Southern Utah defense. Whether he does it for a quarter, 2 quarters, a half, 3, the entire game, it doesn't really matter. I think they're going to absolutely dominate Southern Utah.
So he only played for a quarter and a half.
Vic did?
He was 4 for 6 with 110 yards, and he had a 56-yard rushing touchdown.
He was 4 for 6, 100 and what?
10 yards.
And then a 56-yard rushing touchdown.
Like
and they still won 47-0.
Yeah. I mean, they were killing him already. A 54-yard rushing touchdown.
Wow. That's absolutely wild. Yeah, Jaden Rashada is not going to rush for a 54-yard touchdown.
He could.
He's not going to.
He could.
He's not going to.
He could.
I imagine if he were to escape the pocket and run that way, he would have the entire sideline
saying get down?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's nothing that scares me more than a freshman quarterback scrambling that doesn't know how to slide.
I mean, he's not, at least we haven't seen it, the elusiveness that Jaden Daniels had, but Jaden was built the same way, and everyone was like, every time he ran, you're like, oh my God, stop.
You're like, please go down, please go down, please go down. Yeah, look.
Yeah, and he didn't know how to slide.
But Jaden Rashada is not Michael Vick.
Jaden Daniels was Michael Vick.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, you're right. He's not.
He's going to beat Southern Utah with his arm, though.
He's number 5.
He is number 5. I think Drew Pine's probably closer to Michael Vick than Jaden Rashada is.
Dude, you gotta get off Drew Pine.
Whoa. First off, from a pure athleticism perspective, Drew Pine is far more athletic. What?
Why are we talking about Drew Pine?
We're talking about Michael Vick.
Yeah. So why are we talking about Drew Pine?
He's out of all the quarterbacks, he's the most athletic.
I think Rashada has a higher top end speed than him.
Okay.
He's got longer strides. I'm not doing it. Drew Pine's more elusive. He's not more athletic.
Okay.
Well, we're not doing this.
Okay. We won't do it then. We won't do it, guys. Going into Thursday's game, already talked about how Thursday is going to feel like a long day, which means Wednesday night, going to sleep, at least for me, it might be a little bit tough. Because
Speaking of sleep, I'm going to get you a Sam Hartman body pillow.
Oh my God.
I think that's what I'll do.
Okay.
I think that's a good present.
Look, if Thursday is Christmas, then it is going to be tough to go to sleep on Wednesday. But what might help you guys out a little bit is some OGs, guys. Whether you take some OGs and go to sleep, or maybe you take some OGs, play some video games.
Glenn.
Maybe you take some OGs and you watch some Southern Utah tape. Maybe that's how you decide to spend your Wednesday night. Regardless, though, guys, OGs is the scratch-made gummies for you. And being a PHNX listener just got a whole lot sweeter thanks to our buds over at OG's Brands. Right now through August 31st, you can get 25% off 100 milligram bags of the fruits and the creams at all Arizona The Flower Shop locations. All you have to do is go to theflowershopusa.com, place an online order, and use discount code PHNX at checkout. Then head to your nearest The Flower Shop location to pick up. That's right, the deal is exclusive to our PHNX listeners, and a reminder, it's available only for online orders that are picked up in person. That discount code PHNX is active until August 31st, the day Arizona State kicks off. So go get to #FlavorInLife.
Who's Florida throwing out a quarterback?
I don't know. Not Anthony Richardson.
Cam Rising's not going to be. I don't know if Utah's going to be close in that game. I think Florida might.
Really?
Yeah, Utah's quarterback situation is just so strange.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
I don't know. I hope for the sake of the pack.
Thank you, Glenn.
Utah wins. What?
Technically, Totri is right.
Yeah, he's saying
Pioneer's closest
age-wise.
Yeah, well, in all the ways.
Oh my god.
All the ways.
Oh my god, you make me sick.
Drew Pine, you are.
No, fine. BetMGM. This is a fantastic thing. I love BetMGM. Guys, sign up for BetMGM if you haven't yet, because we got a new offer for you. When you use that bonus code PHNX and you deposit $10 and place your first BetMGM Sportsbook wager, you receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if it loses. All you got to do is sign up with that bonus code PHNX. There's just so much good stuff to bet on right now over at BetMGM, whether it be college football, whether it be the NFL.
Still can bet on baseball. You can. You can still bet on baseball.
You can, but you shouldn't.
That's fair. Why bet on baseball when you can bet on college football?
Yeah. Tons of great stuff. So as I said, sign up for BetMGM. Use that bonus code PHNX. Deposit $10 and place your first bet at BetMGM Sportsbook and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if it loses. Check out the show notes for full details. And now listen to me talk about the disclaimer.
Wow, he's on the screen. Boom.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Colorado, D.C., Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus to wager. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP Arizona. 1-800-522-4700 Nevada. 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help Michigan. 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. U.S. promotional offers not available in D.C., Kansas, Nevada, New York, or Ontario.
That's pretty crazy how you can do that without moving your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ventriloquist?
Yeah, what's it called? What's a skill called? When you do it without moving
Ventriloquism?
Is it just ventriloquism? I thought that was the act of doing it with the puppet too.
I have no idea.
Know.
I'm not familiar with ventriloquists. Sorry.
Sports time.
There we go. Before we move on, I want to get to Glenn's question. Which is a better chance of an upset, Southern Utah or NAU?
Is NAU playing U of A?
Yeah. The eye roll for everybody listening on audio. The eye roll was crazy. Like your eyes definitely saw your brain there. That's how far back they went on that eye roll.
No.
Yes. Mm-mm. Which one has a better chance of an upset?
Look, I haven't watched enough NAU tape to comment.
Do you watch NAU tape?
Yeah, tons.
That's disgusting. That's way grosser than Southern Utah tape.
Well, no, there's trees.
Oh my gosh. Glenn's taking the Florida spread. Guys, college football is back. You've already touched on the fact that you're going to get a great game between Utah and Florida. There's a lot of other Pac-12. I don't want to hold your hand. There's a lot of awesome Pac-12 games going on. I think there's going to be a lot of people watching Colorado and TCU week 1. I think it's going to be a pretty heavily watched game. I think TCU is going to wipe the floor with them. That's just me.
What's the spread on that game?
I don't know. That's a great question.
What would you set the line at?
20.5.
Where's the game? It's in TCU. I say the spread is 16. That's 16? My guess.
Okay. Well, you do that. Guys, if you didn't know, I'm not a giant fan of Dion, Coach Prime
Did you
Sanders.
see why Dion lost his toes?
Why?
Because he declined to get surgery because he wasn't missing a Jackson State game. I think that's so awesome.
What
but
is
like
awesome
also
about
kind of
that?
dumb, but like pretty awesome.
It's dumb as hell.
No, he loves the game, Totri.
Okay, do you love
If
the game
Kenny
more
did
than
that,
your
you'd be
toes?
like, that is awesome.
No, I'd
Yeah,
be like,
you-
that's a dumb thing to do.
No.
Yes, because when he's done coaching, he
No.
also still doesn't have toes.
Well,
He's got some toes.
Love the
He's not
game.
missing all his toes.
love
guys.
the game.
Yeah, I know there's going to be a lot of people in the chat that don't want to see you succeed this season. They probably won't. At least that's my estimation. But guys like
Did
Travis.
you not look? It's 20.5.
Oh, is it really?
Nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, Travis Hunter. He was streaming the other day, and
He was streaming?
He was streaming.
What was he streaming?
I don't know. He was just streaming.
What do you think he plays?
I feel like he plays Madden, but he like creates the entire team. Just
He
made
creates
Travis
two
Hunters.
Travis. No, he creates two Travis Hunters. One's that plays corner, one that plays wide
Oh
receiver.
yeah, absolutely. But he was doing his Heisman rankings, and he had just a ridiculous take. I understand why he did what he did and what he said. Makes a lot of sense for him. We'll let you guys listen to it and then let us know what you think.
3, Caleb Williams. Now I'm gonna say that because y'all just seen this game this coming up weekend. Hey, he's what they've been wanting. He's that guy. He's all of the above. I mean, he go out there, work hard. I can tell you work hard. He know what to read. He know when to get out the pocket. He know when to stay in the pocket. He just make good decisions, and I mean that's what you need at the quarterback spot. And number 2, Shedeur Sanders, my quarterback. That boy, good. Y'all are going to see this year coming up. He can read. A lot of people just don't know. He can get out that pocket and move now. He ain't just no pocket passer. And he made great decisions. He know when to get the ball out of his hands. He know what's going on and when to get that ball to who he need to get that ball to. What's the right timing. He know how to get the ball to his playmakers and let them go to work. And number 1, come on, man. There's only one choice, and that's me. Both sides of the ball, I'm going for it all. Gots to. Sophomore year, like I said on Instagram, Heisman loading. That's my goal. That's what I'm reaching. Sometimes you got to put your goals out there, let everybody know what you're reaching. I mean, I'm just going to do what I could do best this year, show everybody that me going to Jackson State and so-called not playing in a good conference wasn't good for me. I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to show the doubters and prove them wrong. Man, we got a lot to come this season. Just like I said, Shedeur, he know what he's doing back there, and I just got to do my part on defense, and we're going to take this team far. We're going to take this team far as long as we do what we say we're going to do what we are here to do, and that's win. So, yeah.
Anthony?
I appreciate the fact that he thinks and wants to believe in himself enough. But there is dreams, and then there is being a little bit of a realist here. Travis Hunter is not going to come close to the Heisman. Shedeur Sanders is not going to come close to the Heisman this year. And it's if you don't like believe me when it comes to Travis, the numbers will tell you that. Charles Woodson is the only defensive back.
Okay. Calm down. He's not winning the Heisman this year.
Travis Hunter.
I think there could be a chance where next year. Why?
He's just look at the history of it all. You're telling me he is a otherworldly talent?
Yeah, he was a 100 rated recruit.
Okay, well,
he was a 5-star recruit on both sides of the football. Totri.
That's fine. You got to prove it.
He played in 3 games.
You got to prove it.
I know you do. And
you don't win the Heisman. You do not win the Heisman on a bad team.
Okay. I'm not. Yeah, okay.
Right or wrong?
No, you're right. But saying that he's not a good player.
I'm not saying he's not a good player.
He's not good enough to win the Heisman.
He isn't. He's not good enough to win the Heisman. Is he Charles Woodson good?
This year he's not going to win the Heisman. But I don't think it's crazy. I mean, people forget. People in the chat are already saying like he playing against Jackson State competition. He played in 3 games, and I don't know if you guys remember, was the number 1 corner and wide receiver in the country, the highest rated recruit of all time, and he went to Jackson State. And yes, that kind of minimizes it all, but you can't forget where he came from. If this dude committed to USC last year and then plays in 3 games because of injury or whatever, and then he comes out and says this, people aren't near as clowning on him as they are right now. But it's just because of the whole situation. I'm not defending him. He is not winning the Heisman this year. But I think it's blasphemous a little bit.
Blasphemous? How? How?
It's blasphemous. You didn't let me finish. It's blasphemous that you think that there is no chance he could ever win it.
I think that's insane. I think that's crazy.
How?
Because he is something that we've never seen before. A cornerback wide receiver that was rated number 1 on both sides of the ball coming into college.
I don't care what he did before he came into college.
Okay, then we have to watch. The jury the jury isn't out on him yet. We don't know. We don't know what he is yet. That's all I'm saying. We don't know.
You finished? Yeah. I don't think he is good enough to win the Heisman.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That's fine. That's fine.
You
fine.
You don't think he's good enough. I think he's definitely talented enough to do it. I don't think he's going to do it, especially this year. But saying that he isn't talented enough or a good enough player to do that is crazy.
He would have to be the best player. He's the Heisman. He'd have to be the best player in college football.
Yes. That's what the award means.
Yes, I understand that. I understand that. And part of the reason why he's not going to win it this year is because Caleb Williams is the best player in college football.
So just this year now. Now it's just this
No,
year.
no, I don't think he's going to win it regardless.
Okay.
Regardless. Again, regardless of him being an otherworldly talent to you, or the fact that this is a kid that came in as the highest rated recruit on both sides of the ball. Again, I don't really care what he did before he got to college. It doesn't mean jack shit to me. Yeah. And again, at Jackson State, regardless of what anybody wants to say, they weren't playing good teams.
They weren't, and he wasn't doing much. He didn't do shit. Like, he played in only 3 games. Yeah. The jury's not out. We don't know yet. Again, I'm not defending this kid. I think it's insane that he's saying he's even top 10 this year. I'm just blown away that people have just written him off as just some guy on CU.
He's not just some guy. He's the best player on CU. That's absolutely fine. I'll agree with you on that. But what I'm saying is he is not. I don't think he would have to be one of the most ridiculous talents that we've ever seen when it comes to college football to be the second defensive back to ever win the Heisman or the 6th wide receiver to do it. And I just don't think him plus whatever CU does this year or next year is going to be good enough to have him in that conversation. He's not going to be a finalist. He's not going to win the award, in my personal opinion. We're on 2 very separate aisles.
Well, I'm just like, I think you saying that he would have to do something crazy.
He would. I
know, but you saying he have to do something crazy is easy for a guy that plays corner and wide receiver. That's something crazy. You just have to star in it, and that is yet to be seen. I would never ever throw money on him winning it this year, but you never know. You never know what can happen with a guy like him who has all of the potential in the world. We've never ever seen anything like this, and I'm excited to watch him play. I am.
Yeah, no, I will absolutely agree with you on that. I think it's going to be exciting, and I think Colorado in general this year is a very polarizing team, whether that be because of Dion or Shador or Travis or really what they've done in the transfer portal. I think there are going to be a lot of eyes, and there have been a lot of eyes on this team, in this program, since Dion was hired. It is certainly going to be must-watch TV for one reason or the other. Regardless, I'm going to be watching it. And I think that's what they want, right? That's obviously what they want. So again, Travis Hunter, he's a super talented athlete. But again, we'll obviously see what transpires. The Heisman is still so far away. So many teams haven't even touched the field yet, guys. Before we get out of here, I want to tell you a little bit about our friends over at Illegal Pete's, guys. Football season is great, but what makes football season even better, maybe a margarita and some tacos over at Illegal Pete's. Shout out Illegal Pete's for feeding us yesterday. The tacos, the guac, the queso, it is all so damn good. And if you don't believe us, go check it out for yourselves. Not only is it tasty, but it is super affordable as well, guys. Illegal Pete's is your go-to spot this summer. Stop by for happy hour, 3 p.m. through 8 p.m. every day at all 12 locations. It's going to be a great spot to maybe pregame that ASU game on Thursday night. Guys, Illegal Pete's, the go-to spot for burritos, buddies, and beer for 28 years.
I'm going to get Totri a Travis Hunter bobblehead after he wins the Heisman next year. From FOCO, of course, because they're the leading manufacturer of sports and entertainment merchandise with a product line that includes apparel, accessory, toys, collectibles, novelty items, and more. The best officially licensed gear for all sports and fandoms. They gave us all of our set decorations. They donated some great pieces to our sets. So show them some love. They always have our back for Arizona sports, and they have yours too. Get the best gear around by visiting www.foco.com and using code PHNX for all non-presale items. Use that promo code PHNX
for 10% off.
Guys, before we get out of here, do Bobby Hurley a
We got
favor.
a couple more things, actually.
Oh, yeah, we do got a couple more things. Give Bobby Hurley what he asked
Yeah.
for. He's just asking for a little bit of a like. That's all he's asking for. Come on. He's begging. He's pleading, as he does every single day. So just hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button as well if you aren't already subscribed. Turn those notifications on. Shane, what do we got?
Glenn in the comments says Rashada wins a Heisman before Travis Hunter. Just want to rile Shane up. I think Rashada's closer because he's a quarterback.
Yeah.
He has to do less. But
It's easy for
you didn't get me riled up.
So it's easy for quarterbacks. Easier for quarterbacks.
All right.
PHNX Ranks.
PHNX Ranks.
Top 25. We've got the next 5, and we've got some more Sun Devils on this list. Terrell Suggs coming in at 19, and then Randall McDaniel himself coming in at 18. Shane, we've done shows specifically where we spend a whole segment talking about Terrell Suggs and what he brought to Arizona State. He's one of, if not the best player on an ASU defense ever.
Yeah. Oh, this list tells you otherwise, but yeah, I mean, the dude was the best player in the pack in 2002. The sack record thing is just a little, I don't know who owns the sack record. It's confusing, but he is my sack record champion for, especially for a season, and he won the 2002 Morris Trophy. Just an absolute elite defender, and obviously struck fear into the heart of the offenses in the NFL as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And then another guy along a Sun Devil defense, well before Terrell Suggs, Randall McDaniel, a guy who was a part of the 1987 Rose Bowl, 2-time All-American, and then won the Morris Trophy in 1987. This is a guy that I feel like when you talk about collegiate defensive linemen, or even when you get to the NFL level, this is a guy whose name tends to come up. And one of, if not, again, similar conversation with Terrell Suggs, a guy that absolutely belongs in the conversation for top Sun Devils ever.
Yeah, 100%. He's not our era of Sun Devil football, but it's still, you know who he is if you're a Sun Devil football fan.
Oh, absolutely. Look, Arizona State, they've got some serious talent. They've had some serious talent across the board. Yesterday's list, we had Reggie Jackson, we had James Harden. Today, obviously, Terrell Suggs and Randall McDaniel. And look, we've still got a lot left in this PHNX rank, so I imagine we are going to see some more Sun Devils down the line, guys. But again, I know I keep prefacing it with before we get out of here, but go become a diehard, guys, because we have some great deals as always. And we've got a diehard membership deal for you guys, just $60. It is limited time, guys, 48 hours only to go become a diehard for this price. Shane, what do the folks at home get when they become a diehard?
Can we just have a clearing? There's so many of you guys in the chat that I see every single day on our show, but I never see any of you guys in the Discord. And there's no way that you guys aren't diehards, right? Like, there's no way. Because then you'd be in the Discord. When you become a diehard, you get access to our members-only Discord to chat with all of the PHNX crew 24/7. Plus, you get a free T-shirt every year or a hat. And you get access to members-only content that you wouldn't get otherwise on the website, through Discord. The Coyotes have started to do these town hall things where they answer questions live on the Discord channel, and you get a bunch of other discounts. You get, Mountain Mike's get discounts. You get, all of this great stuff available with the Die Hard card, and you can only get that when you become a Die Hard. It's only $60 right now for the entire year.
Go do it. Go become a diehard. We still have deals on shirts, guys. Right now, $24, all T-shirts and hats. Some absolutely phenomenal merch across the board, whether that be with our Sun Devil beat or the Coyotes or the Suns, really all of them. Just some really phenomenal Valley-themed shirts. So go check it out over at the PHNX Locker, guys. And if you enjoyed the content today, give us a follow over at PHNX_Sun Devils. Stay locked in because we're going to be live same time, same place tomorrow. And we're going to have some predictions. Prediction time for the first time this season, just a day before Arizona State kicks off at Sun Devil Stadium against Southern Utah. You can follow me on social at Anthony_Totri. You can follow Big Pokey over here at Shane Deef.
Shooting down wild takes as always.
And like I said, we'll be right back here Wednesday. Peace.